Merry Christmas, Silverback Nation. It's December 24th, Christmas Eve, and you are in the jungle with Patrick and Rico. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the jungle. We're the fastest growing sports betting community in the Northeast. Do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss a pick. It's good for me, and I promise it's good for you. We've got 5 picks that we love today. Well, depending on when you're watching this, it's Christmas Eve. The games are tomorrow. The 5 games are tomorrow. We have 1 pick for every single day. Now, before we go any further, some of you guys, I have 15 members of the nation that I'm building parlays for. I've finished 2 of them already. The rest of you will get yours by midnight tonight. I'm taking them very seriously, spending a lot of time on them. They're all customized based on the books you use, the odds that you want, and I do have some family obligations tonight, of course, but I do have time that I've started almost all of them. So I do have time to finish them up tonight. You will receive them in the email that I'll reply to the email you sent me. You'll receive them by midnight tonight, so you can put them in late tonight if you're up wrapping presents, or early tomorrow morning. I'm having a great time doing it, guys. Thank you for the support and thank you for the trust to build those parlays for you. Another house cleaning item. A lot of you have messaged me and said, yo, Silverback, SB, my man, why did you stop doing football picks the last few weeks? How come no NFL and college? Well, I'll tell you why. I sports bet, and I have this channel for 2 reasons. To make sports more fun and entertaining. I love sports my entire life. I'm the guy. This is a true story. Elementary school in gym class, I used to bring a notebook and keep stats in wiffle ball. That's how much I love sports. And flag football, we played in elementary school. I recorded everyone's stats. I led the league in everything. That's a story for another time. But I love it. I love the entertainment of it. It brings more to it. That's the minor. What the major is, the main reason I do this is to make money. Plain and simple. To make money for me and to help the community make money. And as you know, the NFL and college football have been very hard to be profitable on this year. You know, be honest with yourself. How many times have you deposited money into your sports betting accounts versus withdrawn money because of football? So what I've decided, I'm not done with football, by the way. I'm not done with the NFL. I'm not done with college. I've just been very profitable in the NBA, and I've decided to spend my time, the last month, all my time, building the best bets for us in the NBA, because that's right now is the spot to make money. So we'll be back to football, but for now, we're specializing mainly in the NBA. We're celebrating last night, around the stroke of midnight. Anthony Simons hit his 25th point of the night and gave us, Silverback Nation, our 100th win of the season in the NBA. It was pretty cool. So we were 2-1 last night. Only bet that didn't hit was Cole Anthony. It was a good read. He had 11 shots, 11 points. Anytime that your shots equal your points, it was a bad shooting night, but the read was right on. We needed him to have 15. He missed 5 3-pointers. For the season now, 100 wins, 72 losses. We're up close to 14 units. Let's talk about these 5 games. Game number 1, Knicks and Milwaukee Bucks. Now, we saw what Jalen Brunson just did to them yesterday, or 2 days ago, again, depending on when you watch this video. And we know, we've talked about this, that the Bucks have a hard time defending guards. His line's up there. 26.5 points is a very high line for Jalen Brunson. Certainly capable of hitting it. And you're going to see, some of you will see, I used him at 25-plus points in some of the parlays I'm going to send you. But for this game, and Giannis's line, 31.5, very high. Could hit it very high. I'm uncomfortable with that line. Damian Lillard, 24.5 points. He's been he could have 40, he could have 22, but he's really hooked people a lot. Hook is when and if it's over 22.5, you're not 22. That's what the hook is, the number that catches you at the over/under transition point. That's a tough line. He usually ends up right around 24, 25. That's a very good line for him. What I like in this game, my best read and my favorite play in this game is Julius Randle of the Knicks to score 25-plus points. Over this in 6 of his last 10. In those 10 games, averaging 27.1 points a game. Well over this line in his last 2 games against the Knicks. And I think that he's a tougher defensive matchup throughout the day than Jalen Brunson's going to be for them. Give me Julius Randle, 25-plus points. Game number 2, we go to the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors. We have Klay Thompson's been hot lately. We have his line back up to 20. Steph Curry, 27.5, could be a high line for him. What do the Golden State Warriors, Rico's nuts today, what do the Golden State Warriors have a hard time with? What's the weakness? They're a very small team, right? They're a very small team. They don't defend inside the paint very well. That's where I look to for this game. And although Jokic, his lines are very high and his triple-double machine, he's been a little bit cold lately with stats. He's cooling off a little bit. Rico, stop, man. He's been cooling off a little bit. What happens with the Warriors is a lot of forwards that play against them have big rebound games because their shots, the Warriors' missed shots, come from the outside more than do the inside. So those rebounds are bouncing out a little bit. The Nuggets have one of the most athletic power forwards in the NBA, in Aaron Gordon. And the last 2 times he's played the Warriors, he's had double-digit rebounds in both those games. Now, we have a rebound line for him at over 8.5. I don't like taking just rebounds. The Warriors don't defend well inside the paint. I think Aaron Gordon is cute here to have a good points game and a good rebounds game. I'm going to combine them. And I'm going 20-plus rebounds plus points for Aaron Gordon, for the Nuggets. So 20-plus points and rebounds, Aaron Gordon. Pick number 3, we go to Celtics-Lakers. We talk about, I think Anthony Davis and LeBron James both have very good games. They both have very high lines. Again, those of you who have parlays coming from me, you're going to see me use them in shaved ways a little bit. We're going to bring them down a little bit in the parlays. Jason Tatum's my favorite player in the NBA. Very hard to bet on. 27.5, 28.5 line. He can go 35. He can go 21. Jaylen Brown's very inconsistent with hitting his lines. Where I look to, and here's a question for you. Over each individual player's last 5 games, who's taken the most three-point shots in the NBA? Derek White of the Celtics has taken 56 three-pointers in his last 5 games. 56 three-pointers in his last over 10 a game. Truly, he had 18 in one game. Now, his line is at 15.5. I like 15-plus points. He's averaging 20.9 points a game over his last 10. Something has gotten into him. He is chucking, but he's making the shots. Okay, 2 games in his last 10, he's had 30 points. He had 1 game of 28 points, yet the line is still 15.5. This, to me, is the best, the safest, the boldest. We're going 2 units on this play. Derek White will keep shooting on Christmas Day. Take him 15-plus points. Now we go to the Sixers and the Heat. Last game I watched the Sixers game. I watched the complete game, the full game. And you saw Joel Embiid roll his ankle pretty badly. He was hobbled the rest of the game. Now, he's a game-time decision, and he's a tough dude, and the NBA has great trainers. He's going to play. I'm certain he's going to play. But what's interesting is that ordinarily his line he's been a 35-plus point machine. His line has been 34.5, 35-plus the last 6-7 games. It's down to 32.5 points a game. Now, ordinarily on Christmas, guys play harder. They got the eyes on them, so the lines are higher. Everyone else's line are higher. Why is Embiid's line lower? Could it be because he's a little bit hobbled with the ankle? Could it be because Bam Adebayo is defending him? He's a good defender. For whatever reason, I'm a little leery of that 32.5 points, and I'm staying away from that. I'm staying away from all the heat. You'll see me use Tyler Hero. Those of you who are getting parlays from me, you'll see me use him in different ways with three-pointers and with the shaved points line. Jimmy Buckets is unpredictable. Here's where I like in this game. I like Tyrese Maxey, 25-plus points. He's the biggest consistency here. He's the healthiest and the most consistent of anyone here combined that you have an option to bet on. 25-plus points over this in his last 5 games and averaging 26.2 over his last 10. Tyrese Maxey to score 25-plus points. Last game of the night, we go to the Suns and the Mavericks. Kevin Durant has scored 25-plus points, I think, in his last 15, maybe his last 20 games. Something crazy like that. Devin Booker's taken on the point guard role, and it's kind of interesting to see a lot of teams kind of move away from the traditional point guard position and have bigger guys bringing the ball up. Shea's doing that a little bit too. When Lou Dort's on there, it's pretty interesting to see. And he's distributing more. I like his assist line, but it's over 8.5. It's too heavy for me. It's too high for me. He hasn't been scoring as much, so I'm staying away from that. Kevin Durant's line's at 30.5. Although he, like I said, is at 25-plus points, almost 20 games straight, he never gets 40 too much. You know, he's always – 30.5 is a very good line. You might see me take him at 30-plus in some parlays I send you. Luka Doncic's lines are juiced through the moon, but for good reason. And I look at Doncic, his points line is over 35.5. He's averaged 36.5 his last 10 games. His rebound line and his assist line are both over 10.5. So you dig, you do the work. And instead of just the eyeball test, you look at the numbers here over his last 10. And what stands out to you? Now, you don't want to take his under, you don't want to short him. That's a bad mistake. But if you look at his last 10, rebounds and assists, because there's value here. And there's a way we can beat the books here, and that I'm going to show you how to do that with his line. His last 10 games, he's only had 5 games where he's been over the 10.5 rebounds. His last 10 games, he's had 8 games where he's been over the assist line as well. Every one of those games, he's been over what's his points and assists line for this line of 44.5 points plus assists. Don't take the rebounds. Don't take the PRA. Where the value lies here is Luka Doncic. I know it's a high line, but he's going to hit it. Over 44.5 points plus assists. That's our 5 picks. Have a great day, Silverback Nation. Any questions you have for me, leave in the comments below. I'll get to you when I can. And those of you who have, the 15 of you who have parlays coming from me, you'll have them by midnight tonight. Thank you for the support, man. Love and peace, and I'll see you Tuesday with a little more money in your pocket.